one of the main issues, the main issue in the first half was they couldn't run the football. And they haven't run the football effectively basically in the first 3 games. A.J. Brown is so misunderstood because I think everybody lumps wide receivers into the same group, and they're just a bunch of me. I want the football, and they all want the football. That part of it's true. But he's a very cerebral player. So he took the moment where he knows everybody's happy and everybody's thrilled and everybody's excited about that kind of exciting win that they've never seen before. And he brings up the point that we got a bunch of killers on this team. We got so many good players on this team. We should not be playing the way we play so conservatively. And I think he took the moment to open people's eyes, and I think they should be open.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Look, it's one of the things that we talk about on this show, and not everybody likes when we talk about it because they win football games, but you clearly saw what the team is capable of. And A.J. Brown made comments. John, Jalen Hurts made a comment in his post-game press conference. Now, I asked you on the post-game show, John, is this circumstantial or are they going back to the way they play? And you insinuated you thought they were going to go back to the way you play. After sitting on it, after listening to the players and what they had to say, it's clear that they want more out of their own offense. Do you think they try and play more like this moving forward? Get your killers involved, as A.J. Brown said, because I think it's a no-brainer, John. Look, I understand that we're winning, and I'm not going to nitpick too hard because you won 19 of 20 games in the NFL. That's a hard thing to do. But this team's got some players, man. This team has real players that can make big-time plays consistently. Do you think they change, and do you think that second half will open them up moving forward here in the 2025 season?
No, I don't, because one of the main issues, the main issue in the first half was they couldn't run the football, and they haven't run the football effectively basically in the first 3 games. Saquon's numbers, which I can give you, are 58 for 94, 3.3 yards per carry. If they're up at their normal standard in the run game, the game's not out of reach at halftime. It might be ugly, but it's not out of reach. And turns out it wasn't out of reach anyway.
I'm of the belief that running game's never going to be uber effective until they show that they have a threat through the air, and they did that yesterday in the second half. So I don't know. Am I overstating that? It feels to me like, how can Saquon get going if the passing game wasn't, in the first 2.5 games of the year, the passing game really wasn't effective or dangerous for an opposing defense? It becomes a lot harder to take away Saquon, or a lot easier to take away Saquon Barkley when that threat doesn't exist. That's why I think the balance that will come will also improve what Saquon's able to do.
Well, I don't think that changes the philosophy of opponents because they weren't under the auspices that they can't throw the ball. They were, I don't think they have that sort of, they know A.J. Brown's out there. They know Devontae Smith. They know Dallas got him being back was a big part of it as well. They know they're out there. They're not dismissing their ability to gouge them at any time. I mean, they're well aware.
Right, but if there's less of a threat or less of a consistency in using those weapons, then you can focus in more on other things defensively.
I don't buy that because if you look at Dallas's plan, which I think ironically was very good, but they haven't been able to carry that over to other teams at all. They still did what they did to bottle in Saquon, but they also bracketed AJ the whole game, basically. So yeah, I think the teams around the league are very cognizant at all times of how quickly, and that's what the Eagles were able to show. But this is again, I brought it up on the pregame show, the halftime show, the postgame show. This is not new. This is exactly what happened last year. The bad game, good game. Bad game, good game. Yeah, and
They win them all.
I'm
They win
talking
them all, whether they play good or bad.
Yeah.
They win them all.
Well, I'm talking bad game, bad from a passing perspective.
Yeah, no, I know.
Bad game, good game, bad. Now, a lot of the bad games last year in the passing game were, again, blocked off by the tremendous running game. That's been the part that's missing from last year's formula. This is normal, the way they do it from the passing perspective. It's exactly like last season. The difference is the running game, which was so effective basically almost at all times, not every game, but almost. And this year it's just been ineffective for a number of reasons. But it's been ineffective. So I don't know if they look at it. And again, they turned it over. They finally turned it over. But when did they turn it over? When they're dropping back to pass, and here comes Jared Verse screaming in, and they don't have their right tackle, and bang, it's a turnover. And that's at the point where I said, at halftime, I'm like, all right, I was of the assess at halftime, as I told you, like the Rams wasted too many opportunities. I'm thinking the Eagles are still in this game.
I tweeted 4 field goals, John, in the first half of the Rams.
And there were some layups that Stafford's like first or second pass of the game. Jalen Carter was bearing down. I don't think he was the same the rest of the game. He's sped up. That's what I was taught. You got to speed him up. He's missing these throws he makes into sleep. And they're settling for field goals. And I thought to myself, the Eagles are going to come back and win this game. Now, when that strip sack happened, wasn't strip, but he got fumbled. And they scored right away. Then I thought, oh, well, this is probably not the Eagles' day. And turns out they just flipped the switch and bang. That first touchdown drive was so quick. You had the big play to AJ. And I said, well, go route. There you go. Go route. And then Dallas down the seam, bang. Touchdown.
That was a pretty ball, too. Yeah, that was a pretty play.